2 weeks left in the season. I know it's football season out there for a lot of people. We're still here talking baseball, loving baseball. All coming up next on the RotoWire Fantasy Baseball Podcast. Happy Sunday night, everybody. Welcome to the RotoWire Fantasy Baseball Podcast. I am Scott Jenstad, joined as always on Sunday nights by Jeff Erickson. We're sponsored by Chalkboard on the podcast here. We really appreciate them for that. If you could please rate and review the podcast, also a really good thing for us there. Jeff, it's we got 2 weeks left in the season. It's a combination of going really fast and going really slow, and I can't figure out which one it is.
Yes. All depends on your perspective. If you're protecting a lead, it's agonizingly slow. If you're way out of it, it's agonizingly slow. If you're competing, you're trying to make the run. It's absolutely way too fast. If you're not into football, it's way too fast. If you're into football, it's way too slow. But hey, you know what? And a lot of head-to-head leagues have got playoffs going on right now. And as Nate is mentioned in the comments, he's in his championship, a lot of championships in head-to-head leagues. I like that, by the way, that it's not the last week. It's this week, or maybe it's a 2-week final. Either way, good. Go get them, and don't wait till the last week when there's, September baseball is weird, but the last week of baseball is especially weird.
And it's funny you say that because Paul Spohr guested for you last week while you were gone, and we were talking about Ellie De La Cruz, and it's at the end of the year, you'll kind of look up, and then the stat line won't be that bad, and then he mentioned if you're in a head-to-head lead, these last 6 weeks have killed you.
Agonizing.
No home runs.
Reds fan. Yes.
Yeah, well, it's true too. Not running either. Fantasy-wise, I kind of we were talking. I kind of thought the stolen bases were still there, and they haven't been the last month or 6 weeks. No, 0 home runs. He has one since July 8th or whatever the crazy number is. I can look it up.
One since June 19th.
Oh, God, it's worse than I said.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But in a head-to-head league,
maybe it's July 19th. I might be.
I thought it was more in July, but it's terrible either way. But you're right. If you're in a head-to-head league and he's your best player, that's just a disaster.
You want to know what's a little bit worse? He still leads the Reds in home runs.
Oof. How many does he have? 21 or something?
19.
He leads the Reds in that park with home runs at 19?
Yes.
That is not great.
Yes. And Noelvi Marte wasn't there at the whole time, so you could excuse him a little bit, but
still,
and this is playing in that ballpark. Think about that, and just you see it when they go out, and when they go on the road in particular, it's painful. It's really painful. De La Cruz has 19. Steer has 17, and he was hurt a lot. He's got a 7.04.
He's not even playing anymore.
Well, and he's been hurt a lot. He's still hurt a little bit. Austin, but he's played 135 games somehow this year. Yeah. Austin Hayes, he's fine. In fact, when he came back, he's had multiple IL stints. He's only played 97 games. But fine is 776 OPS. That's what he always does. That's just he's not special. And that's the problem is, Christian Encarnacion Strand was a real huge disappointment. Stevenson's been hurt. You can't really blame him. He's only played 79 games, but they have a roster full of guys. They're just Matt McClain's been terrible this year.
Yeah.
Little better lately, but again, it's just a lot of that. Gavin Lux has played 130 games, has 5 homers.
Oof.
They released Jake Fraley. It's just, all along. We talked about how, Brian Hayes has been much better with the Reds. Okay. He has 3 homers since the trade deadline, a 739 OPS. Sal Stewart has as many homers in 10 games as Brian Hayes has had since the trade deadline. It's been a tough look. It's really tough. You go to Sacramento this weekend and go out with a whimper. They hit 3 homers today, but the A's hit 4. Kurtz hits one to the moon every other day, it seems like.
By the way, we got to say that grand slam last night was utterly pulverized. I know it's against your Reds, but it's funny because we were watching the game. We flipped over after whatever college game ended. I'm like, you just had to feel that at bat, you felt like he was going to hit something hard. And I was like, oh my, 493 to dead set, over the batting guy in Sacramento. That was a crazy home run. Yeah,
it was. It really was. So
the Yankees have 8 guys with 19 home runs or more. If that makes you feel better as a Reds fan.
No, it does not.
No. But so you mentioned the Reds still alive in the wild card. The NL wild card has gotten nuts, mostly because the Mets have completely melted down. They lost 8 games in a row before finally winning today on a Pete Alonso walk-off. But they are a game and a half ahead of the Giants, 2 ahead of Arizona, 2.5 ahead of the Reds. it's just so tough because if the Reds just go in and win 2 out of 3 in Sacramento, like they're right there. This is a brutal weekend for them.
Even 1 out of 3, dude.
Yeah, that's true. Who wins this? Who wins the third wildcard spot? The NL is down to 1 spot. The Padres have put distance on. You think it's the Mets?
I still think it's the Mets. I still think they have the best roster. But yeah, that pitching is tough. It's really a tough look. But yeah, here's the amazing thing about the Mets is that Juan Soto is he's really close to being 40, 30, 100, 100 this year. And so much of it in the last 3 months when the rest of the team has been faltering, he's been huge. And here they are, and yet they had that 8 game losing streak and finding just wild ways to lose games. And the Helsley trade blowing up in their face like it did is just brutal.
Yeah, he's been awful.
The fact that Senga got sent to the minors is brutal. I just he was their best chance at least having a number 2 starter. I'm not even going to call him as an ace, but he could have been a number 2, but he just fell apart. And now they're counting on 3 kids. It's crazy.
Nolan McLean's been awesome though. Like his first 6 or 7 start has been great. Jonathan got smoked by the Rangers in his last start. Didn't get out of the first inning, but Sprout looked good in his 2 starts. But yeah, you're right. It's like kind of those 3 young kids right now. I mean, David Peterson's been really bad the last 6 weeks or so. He was really good early, really struggling lately. So they're just, it's the 3 young guys and Clay Holmes was good early and then really bad for a while. He's kind of picking back with Manaea now. Like it's just, it's funny how their best 3 pitchers are all the 3 young guys right now.
Yeah, it is. It is. Nate Avina asks, is it worth dropping Aaron Nola? I don't know how to feel about him anymore. I think this has been an evergreen for all this season. Yeah. And
the frustrating part is good luck timing him because he was unbelievably good his last start and then terrible against the Royals. Like there's no way to play matchups. He went 6 shutout innings against the Mets in his last start and then 6 innings, 6 earned runs given up the start before that. So it's just all over the place. It feels like it's either 2 runs or 7. There's, I don't know, good luck timing him. But yeah, it's in a shallower league, I'd have no problem dropping him. Yeah. A 15 teamer, you're probably not dropping him, but you might bench him, but then you might get whipsawed too. Good luck. He pitches at Arizona this week, and then does he probably even pitch last week because the Phillies will be in the playoffs. He's supposed to get the second weekend against Minnesota. I doubt he pitches more than 2 or 3 innings in that game. So he really got 1 start left at Arizona. I don't think I'm holding him for that one. No, I if you have somebody you want to get, he's fine to drop. Again, there's no consequences. Someone else picks him up for 1 start. Okay, fine. So be it. And likely won't even be a full start even. So it's good to look at the next 2 weeks and kind of see, what you might be giving up. I had a couple guys today that I decided to drop based on, I just realized I wasn't going to throw them in those 2 weeks. So, name value or not, if you're not going to pitch in those 2 weeks, there's no reason to have them on your roster. Again, these last couple weeks, strategy-wise, it's strictly about your team, your standings, what you need, what you're going to do. And, names kind of go out the window at this point. Absolutely. How about the AL West, Jeff? We've got a leader there in the Seattle Mariners, winners of 9 in a row. They are absolutely on fire right now. Which is crazy, by the way, considering how much they were slumping before that. They are beyond streaky. They've been hot in the middle of the season, then super cold. 9 wins in a row. They are now leading the Astros by 1, leading the Rangers by 3. Rangers are easily the best run differential of the 3, plus 94. The Astros are the worst at that, plus 20. The Astros just can't score runs. They have the least amount of runs scored among those 3. Who do you like in the AL West here? I'm really pulling for Seattle to get it done, but it's going to be tough. You win 9 in a row and you barely get a lead. You're going to have a little bit of a kind of fall back off that, but I really hope Seattle gets it done. I think they have the better roster, but they're just so mercurial. It's so hard to tell. Julio himself is just like a perfect representation of that roster, just the hot and cold that he goes through every year there. And on Julio, we're going to look up and it's going to be a 30-30 season, hitting 270 with 100 runs and 100 RBI. It's just going to be, we're going to look up in the offseason, but Julio was awesome last year. And it was a bumpy ride to get there, but he's going to get there. Yeah. It's kind of crazy because he was so awful for 4 months of the season. It is wild. If you look at their roster, though, obviously Riley's great. Naylor is an improvement, although he hasn't always had his moments there. Suarez, I like the trade at the time. He does struggle, but Julio's great. Arena's had a really good second half. They have they got Robles back too. They have a nifty little platoon with him and Canzoni, but it's fun. And then of course you got the starting pitching, and I don't know if you can trust George Kirby in the playoffs.
I know he had a huge strikeout day today.
Yeah, and was horrible to start before that. Like, just couldn't get anybody out at that point either.
Yeah. I don't know if you can trust Castillo for that matter. I mean, the only guy I think I really trust Wu. Gilbert has his rough road starts. But yeah, that's if you look at the home road splits for Gilbert, and this is one thing we noticed a little bit in doing VEASAN is that you really dial in on that there. You can find some profit there. On the road this year, Logan Gilbert, 529, 139 are his ratios. Wow. At home, 213, 074.
That's
I want to talk about
crazy difference. Wow.
And Bryce Miller is always that way. Even Woo's got a significant split. They just love, although not this year for Bryce Miller. He's just been bad all around. But it's interesting to see just how that's worked out there. But I want to see the Mariners have some success.
Me too.
Here's to Jason Thornberry. Let's go, Jason. Let's go, Thorn. Let's get you a playoff series win. Let's go. Yeah. If our Reds can't do it, let's go for Friends.
Our friend Russ Prentice has moved up there, has become a big Seattle fan because his son's super into baseball. So I'm kind of rooting for them as well. But Jorge Polanco, you mentioned kind of when you go into the lineup, career best WRC plus for Polanco. I mean, he's had some good years in the past, but this is his best year by that metric, 24 home runs. He's hitting 263, striking out. Believe it or not, he has cut his strikeout rate by 50% since last year. He was 29% last year, 15% this year. That is a crazy shift.
He's got like a 3-part season too. He carried the Mariners for a month and a half to start the year, was getting replaced by Leo Rivas for a while there. And now he's good again.
Yep.
It's wild. We'll always have, was it 2020 or was it 2021 where he's just
2021,
the year after COVID, where he's just so monstrous down the stretch and won people leagues.
Yeah.
It's like that again.
It's crazy. I mean, you don't see many times a guy cuts his strikeout rate in half and raises his hard hit rate 10% at the same time. Like those usually go the opposite happens, but those going together is pretty wild. He's actually been really big for them. He's been huge, but I hope they pull it off too. But it's funny. We talked like 3 weeks ago how we thought we weren't going to get that many good races. We got 3 division races and 2 wild card. We're going to be fun with 2 weeks left here.
Yeah, and by the way, just kudos to the Rangers for making this a race too.
Yeah.
They might not get there. They're 2 games out of the wild card and 3 games out in the division. But given all that they've lost, it's crazy that they're still alive. Just really crazy. And they're 79-71. The Astros are plus 20 in run differential. Yep. The Mariners aren't much better. The Mariners, what are they now? They're
51.
The Rangers plus 94.
Yep.
94. And, for the longest time, they had a terrible offense. They've actually scored more runs than the Astros now this year.
Who throws a game 2 for the Rangers in the playoffs?
Good question.
There is no answer, but it's probably Jack Leiter. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's last man standing. Is Evaldi definitely like no way he can come back for the playoffs or anything? Definitely
strained rotator cuff doesn't sound good?
Yeah. Just looking to see if he's like throwing rehabs or anything like that. No, I haven't seen anything on that. Mally's throwing rehab assignment.
He had a setback, right?
He's returning during the upcoming week. He will be activated.
All right. I thought I read he had a setback, but I guess not.
If he did, good. It was after today, because we have a note today saying he's.
Oh, okay. It must have been something that it turned out to be fine. So that's good.
Yeah. Merrill Kelly makes her second start though. By the way,
think so. Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
I suppose that's probably the way to go. But either way, it's just
fine.
Oh yeah, he's
been good.
Yeah, he's actually been better than I thought. He's 3.21, 106. Yeah, that's a pretty easy one. I guess it is.
Yeah.
He's second. Leiter's probably third. I can't throw Corbin out there in a playoff start. I don't think.
Depends on the opponent. They're loaded with good lefties.
Loaded with lefties. You could get some lefty sliders out there. That is true. But let's talk about a few players here. There's some ups and downs for a lot of guys, but one of the guys with the bigger highs this year is Junior Caminero in Tampa Bay. I looked at his age today, and I still can't believe it. He's 22. Mm-hmm. He is 44, 107, hitting 262, 7 stolen bases, a K rate under 20%, a hard hit rate over 50%. This is an unbelievable line for a 22-year-old. I know he had a lot of hype in the offseason. We all liked him. You saw the home runs in I think it was the Caribbean playoffs or something like that. He had that walk-off home run, went nuts. But this season, 44, 108 at 22 is just an all-time great season for a 22-year-old.
Yeah, it really are. Traded for Tobias Myers. Just want to throw that out there.
Oh my gosh. Forgot about that.
Tobias Myers then went through like multiple organizations, was DFA'd a couple times, and I thought he was actually going to be okay this year for the Brewers. He's actually one of the non-success stories for the Brewers this year, which is weird. But through the moon for I do worry a little bit about home road splits a little bit with Caminero. The fact that they're going back to the Trop next year, I'm stunned that they're able to do it that quickly.
Are they really going back to the Trop? Wow.
Yeah,
I figured the Trop was kind of done.
Yeah, I'm gonna confirm this here.
It's funny you mentioned the home run splits. He got 22 home runs at home, 21 on the road, like dead even. But he's hitting 320 at home and 201 on the road.
So next year the Rays are going to begin their 2026 season on the road, playing a 9-game road trip before returning to the Trop.
Wow.
They got a new Teflon dome being installed to ensure the field's ready for the start of the 2026 season. I know they scuttled their stadium deal. So there's still a lot of uncertainty going on with that franchise. Hope they work it out.
It's pretty wild because his runs, RBIs, and home runs are all the same on home and the road, but his batting average and obviously OPS and slugging all are crazy better at home. That's an interesting split. He's a 163 WRP plus at home and 88 on the road.
It's wacky. It's wacky. I would think there might be a little bit of fallback, but to what? As our friend Scott Pianowski always likes to say.
That's my next question for you: is where does he go in 2026 drafts?
Second round?
Probably early second round too, right?
Yeah. Do you think that's a wise play? Let me ask you that.
Man, that season at 22, I'm a little wary about like great first seasons after like the Jackson Merrill's kind of stuff from this year. But
Jackson Merrill got hurt 3 times too.
He was also bad when he played, but he's actually a good last couple of weeks here. But like you look at like Vlad went like 12th, 13th, 14th this year in drafts. Like Caminero's profile is better than his power wise for sure. Maybe a little bit less than the batting average. Steals are kind of 5 to 7, kind of the same, but. Vlad's never had I guess he had the 2021 when he had 48 home runs, but like coming into this year, Caminero's season's is way better than Vlad's was last year too.
Yeah. Vlad, where's the power with Vlad?
Since 2021, it's been good, but far from great.
Yeah. Is there ever going to be another 40 homer season for Vlad? He's at 23 this year. Yeah. He's hitting for average. And let me tell you, hitting for average and playing 142 games while doing it, that's pretty darn important.
For sure.
That is, we overlook the average category all the time. He's going to get to 100 runs. He probably won't get to 100 RBI though, which is really weird when you think about his hitter profile. He's only done it twice, by the way. 103 last year and 111 in his 48 homer season. Yeah, I think there are, different ways to get to value. I think this is about your build, isn't it? Yeah. If you're playing categorical leagues, if you're playing points leagues, does it matter?
Yeah, your Trop point is pretty important, though. That's a much different hitting environment than this place they're playing right now is Steinbrenner Field. But that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting one to figure out. He's gonna be fully priced. We're gonna want him. He's 22.
Caminero, that is, by the way.
Caminero, yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, Caminero 22. But yeah, that's gonna be a tough call with half a game to Tropicana.
Yeah, in 2024, he hit 266, 356, 422. Caminero did in the Trop. So and then he had like 10 at bats, 10 plate appearances in 2020. He got the call up in 2023, and we were waiting for him to get the call up. That's how long. Yeah. That's the thing about age and prospects is we get this fatigue sometimes, especially probably Latin American prospects who get signed at such a young age. Like, when's he going to get the call? When's he finally going to get a chance? Oh, he's 21 this year. Okay. He's 21 and doing this. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. And Paul Sporer mentioned, the people who are fans of Caminero will note that he has a 178 BABIP on the road. So that's a good point too. But yeah, he benches also the 976 home OPS will be tough to replicate in the Trop. But he's going to be fun. I knew he was 22, but I still, when I clicked on his name and looked at the age, that's an amazing 22-year-old season. It's been really fun. But another youngster I want to ask you about, 25. I think a month and a half ago, this answer would have been different. But what do you do with Mark Vientos next year? It was really, really rough for so long coming off the good season last year. But over the last 27 games, 10 home runs, 26 RBI, really turned it on, playing every day again. He's up to 78 home runs. The average is inching up a little bit. He's at 242. Hard contact is kind of similar to last year as well, striking out less than last year as well. Also, how do you feel about Vientos? He was pretty hyped this year as like a 7th, 8th, 9th round pick, somewhere in there in 15 teamers. Where do you think he's going next year? And are you buying back in? Because I got to figure this one out because I was in this year and it definitely hurt.
I might not be in. So, I think the defense isn't going to help him get on the field ever.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that works against him. Vientos did cut down on his strikeouts, 23.8% this year. I didn't realize it was that much of a drop off. Sure didn't feel that way. Still a 299 OBP. So in real life, he's not helping the Mets as much as you might think. ISO is down 250 last year, 194 this year. Yeah. I'm going to need to see where he's going. I'm going to pay less than I did this upcoming year. And I think I think I might have overpaid a little bit this year. I too was in on him. I have a lot of these that are players in the main event, for instance, that have come on a little too late. Him, Walker, Christian Walker is another one where they had, although Walker, I think, has gone back away. I mean, I think he still stinks, but mistakes were made. It wasn't just not having my 2.1 pick out 90 days, but that was a big part of it. But there was a lot more that was wrong about my team. But yeah, actually, I'm now looking at Christian Walker's numbers. He's at 23 and 80. Really? Okay. Still, OPS is way down. Yeah. All right, I am sidebarring, so I
think Vientos' price is going to fall. I think a lot of people got burned. I think the final numbers aren't going to be anything. He was going to hit 20 home runs with 63 RBIs or whatever, something in there, and hit 240, 250. I don't think the number is going to be enough for people to get fired up about it. I think there's going to be a pretty big drop, and I think I'm going to be. I think based on the hard contact, dropping the strikeouts, I think I'm going to be back in at the lesser price next year.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. If he is like Paul suggests, 200, in the 200s. Yeah, I'm in.
He won't drop 100 picks because I would take him before that. But I think he'll drop pretty far. I think I'm gonna be back in.
Third base is kind of sneaky of a tough position to fill too.
I've had trouble doing it in multiple leagues this year. Yeah, it's tough there. But
by the way, we were talking about Caminero. I want to go back to that. Michael made a comment I think is interesting. He said, Riley was a second rounder, which is a fair comp. Riley was also overpriced as a second rounder, but even before the injury, that was true. I would know because I had him. Maybe not in the main, but in other places there. But
Riley was what, 30, essentially 35 home runs in 21, 22, and 23, and has been hurt the last couple of years. By the way, another guy I'd be back in on next year. So I would love to get some discounted Austin Riley. Still, all the hard contact stuff is still the same as it was in those years. He was really good. Strikeout rate's the one concern. He's at 28.5%. That's the one thing that could be a problem for him, though.
Austin Riley, what's the price you're paying? Fourth round?
I'm clicking the button in the fourth round.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. Clearly, and I think he will be down. That's back-to-back years will be fewer than 20 home runs. Hitting around 260. The strikeouts are the one thing that worries me a little bit. That's a pretty big jump from 25%. 25%, 28.5. Get to that range where batting average gets pretty tough because his bat was 337 this year, and it's keeps the average at 260. He could have hit 235 pretty easily this year.
Yeah, I just gotta say, the batting average component of our game is such a struggle.
It is tough.
You look at baseball. There's 5 qualified hitters going to hit 300 or something low.
Is it up to 5? There was a time where the NL had one guy over for a while.
Exactly. It was that. And it wasn't Luis Arias. I can tell you that much.
You're right. There's 5 guys over. Aaron Judge, Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero, 2 guys on the Jays, Trey Turner, and not rookie of the year, but rookie Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, and that's the thing is because they were talking about. I was reading the Padres daily newsletter, and they're talking, that Arias still has an outside chance of winning the batting title, especially because Trey Turner is not going to play. It's we have a fixed target. Can we get there? It would take a lot.
Who the NL leader is right now? If you guess this, I'd be really impressed.
Well, I'm assuming Turner doesn't count.
I'm saying besides taking Turner out of it for being the injury, who's behind Turner?
I think I saw this the other day, but I've already forgotten. Just tell me.
Nico Horner.
I did see that. Yeah.
And third, by the way, Sal Frelick at 296. You could have given me, I don't know, 112 guesses and I wouldn't have gotten Sal Frelick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Horner I would have gotten to pretty quick. I know he's been pretty good, and then Freeman's fourth and Terang is fifth. The guy I didn't like. I missed that one. A guy that we should talk about. A guy we should talk about real quick though. Is Geraldo Perdomo like the best? It's surprising season in a long time. He's at 286, 19 home runs, 26 steals, 90 plus runs on RBI. He has the sixth highest WAR in Major League Baseball right now. That is an unbelievably out of nowhere season for Perdomo.
And when he signed his contract extension in spring training, like, oh no, he's blocking Jordan Lawler. What are the Diamondbacks thinking? And it turns out he was amazing. The one thing I got right in the main event. Well, two things. I got Kurtz and FAAB, and then we drafted Perdomo at the 29-30 turn. That's it. That's the list.
I mean, that's an unbelievable 29-30 pick, though. The sixth WAR in all of baseball is going to be 20-25 for sure, with 90 plus runs. That's gold right there. That's the best pick you can make. That's an unbelievable selection.
Yeah, it is. It's just everything in between was terrible. So there you go.
Paul Spohr in the chat with he saw someone try to spark Nico Horner for MVP buzz. That is an amazing comment right there. That is beautiful. I can't imagine anybody realistically taking that. Crazy thing is we mentioned Jacob Wilson second in the majors in batting average. It's pretty crazy that Jacob Wilson's second in the majors in batting average, and he's not the best rookie in his own team.
I know. And even better yet, for the first month and a half of the season, he was the runaway favorite for the Rookie of the Year award.
Yeah.
Had like massive betting favorite. And then Kurtz just went boom into the moon.
Is Kurtz like a second, third rounder next year? Where the hell does he go next year?
Dude, he's got a good batting eye. I mean, he's hitting for average too, by the way.
He is, but he's striking out 30% too.
Yeah, he is.
With a 374 BABIP, but 13% walk rate in the majors first time through is really impressive. Obviously 31 bombs. I mean, you watch him, he's super impressive. Great at bats all the time.
So you take Caminero before Kurtz for sure?
Yes. Oh, I don't know. They're playing in Sacramento and they're playing the Trop. Oh, that's not as easy as I thought. I think so, but I think based on
he could hit 50 next year.
Yeah, I'd probably go with the 10% better strikeout rate and go Caminero, but Paul in the chat just mentioned Kurtz over Caminero for him. Paul's obviously really smart. I think I go Caminero, but pretty tight.
I would love to have that as my 2-3 turn.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be sassy.
Ain't gonna happen, but it'd be fun.
No, yeah, because I don't think Cammy gets that far, and Kurtz might not get that far too. Yeah. And we'll see what happens because keeping in mind we're probably not pushing up that many pitchers next year.
Well, and Paul and I talked about last week when he filled in, and after that top three, it is the Wild West. It is 4 to 20 could be in any order you want, and every website will have 4 to 20. We kind of settled that Yamamoto's probably fourth, but after that. It's 5 to 20 maybe is just completely wide open.
Paul, what about a 15-16 Cammy Kurtz turn? That might be that. That's what it end up costing.
Yeah. Hell, you might get 85 home runs from that.
I could pass. Those are two more guys I could pass up on Tatis for. But wait, and mess that up. But all right.
Yeah, it happens. There's I try to go back every once in a while to the draft board and realize all the insane decisions I made once I go back.
It's not healthy.
Like, how did
not healthy.
Saying Corbin Burns out loud still haunts me. Like almost anybody else there, my team is really good. Oh, it sucks. We talked about a lot of young guys, Jeff. I want to hit an older guy. Age 35, George Springer has been unbelievably good. 299. We talked about guys at 300, so he is right there. He actually got 3 hits today, so he's at 303 right now. Homered again today. 29 home runs, 99 runs, 75 RBIs. Obviously not as many RBIs because he leads off, but 29 bombs, 16 stolen bases. This has been a crazy good year for a guy who hit 220 last year.
Yeah, and to your credit, you were all over him in our podcast.
Yeah,
absolutely. And hey, good. Maybe not to this extent, but you loved him as a potential bounce back.
Yeah.
I guess the lesson is look for that profile, right?
It is. I mean, you just look at last year, and the BABIP was so far outside his norm that the 220, I kind of just tossed that away. I didn't think he'd hit 303, but I thought we'd get a 265, which is kind of what he hits every year for a while there. A couple spikes here and there, but I just thought you get the 265 and leading off for that lineup. I just liked that, but I did not see this happening. He's gonna have gonna have 105 runs and 30 home runs and close to 20 steals. Like this is a massively beneficial pick if you took him in the mid rounds.
100%. And the thing I like too about him is just it fits their profile. This whole team is they're a very interesting experiment here because they don't strike out that much. They're not like this huge power team, but they just this is what the Astros aspire to be, what the Blue Jays are. The Astros usually are this sort of team. Don't strike out a lot of good contact and all that, but it's really the Blue Jays this year that have been that team. I'm curious to see what happens with Bo Bichette in free agency this offseason.
Oh, that's right. He's a free agent. That's right.
How they construct their roster in the offseason. Do they add on? What do they do? I'm really intrigued to see what they do because I think they're going to be one of the more fascinating teams.
Yeah, that's a good call. I wonder, I have to look at that. I wonder what Bo Bichette gets in free agency. What is he? Is he 27? So pretty primey right there. Got to think someone's paying for that as a shortstop, right?
Probably. And by the way, that's one of my whiffs of the year. I was not on Bichette. In fact, I was making a point of saying I was off Bichette. I didn't think he'd run, and I didn't think necessarily hit for power. And both of these things are kind of true. He only has 4 stolen bases. He has 18 homers, but 311, 94, 78. You'll take that.
So George Springer this year in the I'm just going to go main event drafts I'm looking at his ADP here, was about 250, somewhere in there. I think I got most of them there. About 250. How high does he spike? Is he like a 10th, 11th round kind of guy? Are people wary about a 36-year-old breaking down in kind of the spike season? What do you think? What do you think his ADP is looking like next year?
Higher, but not crazily higher. It's not, you're not going to go back to like 4th, 5th round Springer.
No, I don't think so at all. I'd probably be out in the first 8 rounds, but after that,
stay around 125.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that, he's gotten 21, 20, 19, 16, and now 28, 16 over the last 3 years, 25, 14 for that. So you're going to get stolen bases and power. At some point at 36, stolen bases are going to go away, but they have not yet. So,
he's 16 for 16 too. It's not like he's running a ton and getting caught. I think he's one of those smart base runners, and that skill set tends to age okay.
Can you believe Juan Soto has 32 steals, by the way? Speaking of guys who aren't fast, who are smart base runners, that 32 and that stolen base column on Fangraphs is one of the things that just jumps out more than anything this season.
I love Juan Soto. I got to say, he for half the season, we're all preaching first year of a big contract year, blah, blah, blah. And he's been awesome. He's been so awesome in the last couple of months. I love to see it. Like to see good players be good.
I do too. But the stolen bases are wild. He just feels like he's just like decided I'm going to steal 30 bags this year and picks his spots. And he shows, you don't have to be super fast. You're smart. You pick the right spots, but it feels like he just kind of flipped the switch. Like, you know what? I want to steal 30 this year. And he's 40-32 with 113 runs. He has like 120 walks. There's all these stats out there. It's pretty much him, Bonds, and I forget one other guy that has all these numbers in the same season. This is just for all the the texts I got in the first 6 weeks of the season about how overpaid Soto was and how he's not going to perform. This has been an unbelievable season. He's been unbelievably good.
Yep, he has. And as Paul mentioned, a lot of it's coaching. It's not like this is a speedy team. It's just they're coached well as far as it goes. It shows it's there for the taking. Yep. And the funny thing is, there's been a lot of evolution, on running and also preventing the running game. You see a lot of teams make that perfect throw on the first base side. Every shortstop now is Javi Baez tagging players out, but
that tag on the leg play always is the worst when you have the player and you're like, oh, that's a steal, and you realize he got tagged in the leg before he hit the bag. It's always the worst. But
yep. Absolutely.
To Jordan in the chat, finished 5-5 in the semifinals of the playoffs and lost on a tiebreaker. That is a brutal way for your season to end. I feel for you right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about a couple pitchers here before we talk about FAAB. A couple guys I wanted to ask you about, kind of feeling about what they've done recently going into next year. What the heck do we do with Jesus Luzardo as we try and figure out next year? He's been so up and down, but after all the roller coaster, he's 403, 126 with a 28% strikeout rate. He's got 14 wins. Those matter in our little game here, and he's on the Phillies. But second MLB in strikeouts since August 1st. He's been really good since. Brian Woo's first. He's second. He's been striking guys out pretty much all year long, but the volatility is really huge. How do you feel about Luzardo coming into 2026?
I'll probably add him a couple of places there. The strikeouts are so valuable.
Yep.
sometimes, it blows up in your face. Sometimes you get Carlos Rodon though, too. You get that great season with all the crazy Ks. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but I think it's just hard to find someone that strikes out that many people at 28% this year. And you're just like, okay, especially because later in drafts, it's hard to find the Ks, right? We prioritize a lot of these early strikeout guys. Now, if Luzardo's price goes a little bit higher, I don't know. We'll see, but
I think it will. I think people will be tempted by. I mean, that's 2 years now out of 3 where he threw over 170 innings, which is big because he had a lot of injury concerns. He did throw 66 last year, so that's still there. I just think that strikeout rate on the Phillies. I think he's gonna rise up pretty. I think he's gonna rise to the point where I'm a little wary to take him just because he's just so inconsistent. Those blowups are tough to take.
They are. 126 whip is not helping you.
No.
My comp to Rodon isn't good enough there. Maybe Robbie Ray's a better comp.
All right.
I'll take Robbie Ray again, by the way. Not quite as extreme on the strikeouts this year.
Paul in the chat went with Lefty Cease. That's probably a pretty good comp right there.
Okay. Where's Cease end up, by the way? He's a free agent also.
I can't figure that dude out at all. It's just this year's been terrible. He's 4.59, 132 this year. And I know he's got a 30% strikeout rate while doing that too. It's just, he's one of those guys too. When he's off, he's just so far off and walks guys, and he has a walk rate under 10%, but it's right there. Swinging strike rate's really good. I can never figure him out. And I usually just kind of stay away at the price.
Yeah. 132 whip for Cease. That's just hard to stomach. And you're paying a price. You're paying that sort of price on Cease. You can't stream them. You can't say, I'm just not going to use them on the road. Yep. 554, 139 on the road this year. Dude, he's got to sign in a pitcher's park if I'm going to pay anywhere close to market price for Cease.
Especially when you consider his ADP was 44 in the main event. He was a 3rd round pick this year.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting Ks, but at what cost?
Yeah, that 4.59, 132. It ain't worth the cost at that point. That's too tough right there. But yeah, I don't know. I think on Luzardo, I think the price is going to rise a little too high. I think people are going to see the strikeouts and kind of like you were saying, move them up. But that'll be a price guy for me. I think I'll probably be out, but I'll have to see what the price is.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about head-to-heads a little bit and kind of recent form, what the heck is up with Framber Valdez? 5.95 ERA in his last 7 starts since August 1st, and that was before today, where you have 5 more runs in the Astros loss today. Do you start him these last 2 weeks? How do you kind of handle something like this? Because he's been really bad recently, but obviously if you have him, he's one of your 2 or 3 best pitchers, conceivably. But he's been really bad lately. How much do you lean on recent form when you're kind of figuring out your last couple of weeks here?
Oh man, I don't think I'm going to have someone better as the problem.
That's really what it comes down to. But he's been. I think he's like the 3rd worst ERA among qualified starters since August 1st.
I feel like Bill Walton, 3rd worst ERA in the history of.
If only he went to the Conference of Champions, we'd be set.
Yeah, exactly. Gets home against Seattle.
Yeah. At
the Angels to finish.
I mean, you're throwing those 2 and just whatever happens, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I am too. I hate to do it that way.
I wish we were at Seattle and home against the Angels, but it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I still think the whole purposely crossing up the catcher thing.
That was so weird. That was so weird.
Yeah. And how he was steaming on the mound. And it was clear it was purposeful.
Yeah. He's a free agent too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, free agent 2026. Yeah, that's I don't know. I think I got to start it, but I don't feel great about probably not watching that game. In the second start, that's automatically 1 Joe Adell home run per game. So you got that already factored in. So you got to put that in the case. It's tough.
Yeah.
Joe Adell versus the lefty. That's automatic right there.
Yeah. As you would know.
I would. Let's talk about some FAAB. We've kind of gone long just talking baseball. I do want to talk about some FAAB from this week, but first a note from our sponsors at Chalkboard. Cash in your MLB picks this season with Chalkboard. Simply choose more or less of your favorite player stats to win up to 5,000 times your money. For a limited time only, new players get $20 free with no deposit required. Yes, you heard that right. $20 free just on sign up. See why over 1 million fans have already locked in with Chalkboard to turn the sports knowledge into cold hard cash. Whether you're looking for the perfect slip with alternate lines, using the cash out feature, take your money and run, or hammering the daily promos, today's your chance to win up to $40,000 on a single entry. Stop sitting on the sidelines and get into the game with Chalkboard Fantasy Sports, now available in over 30 states. Download Chalkboard today and use promo code ROTOMLB, that's ROTOMLB, to get $20 free with no deposit required. So Jeff, before we get to FAAB, a few news and notes. Somebody in the chat asked about Tarik Skubal. Obviously, that was a scary one on Friday night. He left kind of holding his left side. Imaging on his left side came back negative. He is questionable of making that start. I assume the Tigers will be as safe as possible here. You know, they're going to win the division anyway. Hopefully Skubal's all right because he's definitely the best pitcher in the, I guess it's one or two guys, but one of the best pitchers in baseball. Top three guys, him and Crochet, kind of 1-2 in the Cy Young going back and forth. But obviously, we want to see him good for the playoffs too.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way that the talk was about Skubal is like as good as possibly could be. He's going to make his next start. Blah blah blah. We'll believe it when it comes, but
they'd be crazy to make his next start, right? Like, let's just give him a start off. Like, let's just skip one.
So, are you skipping him this week?
I mean,
do you have that decision to make?
I do not, so I don't. But that would be really hard to not put him in your lineup unless you know he's not pitching. I don't think the Tigers are sending. They're a 6.5 game lead on Cleveland. They don't need him this week. I don't think he pitches this week. I'm going to sit him.
Yeah, I think you're probably be
great. Boy, if he takes the mound, that'd be a painful watch if you have him out of your lineup.
And they're still trying to hang on for a bye, also. So
are they? They're 3 up on Seattle. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that 1 or 2 seed is extremely important, obviously.
Yeah, especially in the AL where it's so wide open this year. You just want to stay out of the muck as long as possible.
They are so cooked without him, though. Like, he's just so good and so dominant.
And the rest of the rotation is not that good.
The tricky part about saying you're going to bench him, which I said, I may take that back, is he doesn't have to pitch Wednesday or Thursday to work. He can pitch, well, it's Mize Tuesday, Flaherty Wednesday. So he's going to be Thursday. They can push him to Saturday or Sunday, and then he still pitches this week, too.
Yeah, exactly. I'd probably start him.
Yeah.
I'd probably keep him active.
Once I looked at where he pitched, I probably have to, too. That'd be a tough 0 to take, but that'd be probably a tougher gem to not have in the lineup.
I think they prefer him to pitch against the guards, too. And
that would be Thursday. They get Atlanta over the weekend. Oh, they get Cleveland next week also, so they could kind of...
It's kind of a low-key, a pretty important series. If they lose the first 2 games against the Guardians,
it's down to 4.5, and he could pitch... He pitches Thursday. He can pitch against the Guardians twice. He pitches Thursday and then also next week too.
Yep. Casey Mize has been pretty darn good, but going against Cantillo, who is sneakily been pretty good too.
Gotta like Flaherty against Logan Allen on Wednesday, but it's baseball. You never know. But yeah,
I don't like Flaherty ever.
You're not a Flaherty guy, huh?
Dude, look at him. Look at his numbers. They're not good.
He's 4.69. He is not good. He was good, really good last start, right? Yeah, he was really good against the Yankees.
5 scoreless innings. Yeah, he was good last time out. Struck out 7. You're right about that.
He had that 8 earned run game recently against Kansas City that just jumped his numbers big time.
He's also a house cat a little bit too. Home cat. 431, 121 at home. That's not even that good. But
just call him a house. You just call him a house cat.
Yeah, he likes to stay at home. 520, 138 on the road. Yuck. Yeah. I mean, you're getting the Ks from, and this is another one that you're getting strikeouts from him, but really. Not and you're not paying the same price as Cease. This was a guy that it was like kind of a prove it to me. The whole his back is still an issue. It took a while to sign. Blah blah blah. So you didn't have to pay the same hefty price.
ADP is 132 on Flaherty. So what's that? The start of the 9th round right there.
Yeah. I guess that's fine, but it's really not that great. I mean.
No. Not for those numbers. It's not been great. But a couple other quick notes. Will Smith, the Dodgers catcher version, 10-day IL with a hand contusion. He's eligible to return on 9/20. I think he will be. I think the Dodgers are kind of playing this one safe. I decided I would not drop him because he's going to be back for the final week. But you got to pick up another catcher. That's really tough to hold a third catcher this week. So if you had to drop him, I get it. I probably would have tried to hold him for a week just based on how good he's been. But
or just play with the 0 in the spot because the replacement. If you're in a 15-teamer, the replacement pool stinks so bad anyhow.
I have a DC where I haven't had a second catcher in I think like 3 months.
I believe it.
Not been good. It's been tough. I have Langoliers has been awesome, and then I have Luis Campusano. I have Jacob Stalling, and I have someone else. None of the 3 have
starting
played.
Catcher for the Rockies, Scott.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I might have done that little particular play.
The funny thing, I was fired up that the Padres called up Campusano like when someone got hurt and he was up for like a week, and I was like, oh my god, I got some at bats from catcher, and then he was back in the minors. It was
summarily dismissed.
Yeah, and Stalling was the starting catcher for the Orioles for like 10 days when Rutschman got hurt and someone else got hurt.
And then he became the college of catchers that were injured too. They had like six catchers on the injured list at one point, I think. It's
been so bad. But Masyn Winn also 10-day IL. He has a torn meniscus at his knee. He obviously needed to shut that one down, so he's done for the year. A couple of guys coming back. Nolan Arenado is coming back on Monday, so if you're in a deeper league where you want to pick him up, he will be back soon. Sounds like Luis Arraez is going to be okay. He sat Sunday. He got hit by an errant throw between innings in the 9th inning on Saturday. He got hit by a ball that was coming out of the dugout, so he missed today. A couple of notes. Tyler Soderstrom, who's been was really hot, then really bad, then really hot again. Missed Friday and Sunday with groin tightness. That's a tough one. The A's obviously not playing for anything. I'm hoping he gets out there, but I'm a little bit worried about that one myself.
Yeah, for sure. Because again, we're at that point in the silly season where it's just operation shutdown.
Yeah,
in a lot of cases here. And you just, especially because the Athletics, hey, they have one more road trip, one more homestand. Nothing else to play for except for spoiling others like they did the Reds this weekend.
Do you think somewhere that Derek Bell knows that everybody now uses Operation Shutdown as like the phrase for that because he started it some 20-something years ago?
Sarah, I was reading Jordan's comment in the chat. Say that again, please.
I'm saying, do you think that Derek Bell, the outfielder who started Operation Shutdown, knows that people still use that as like a pretty much like the main way that you talk about people quitting on the season?
Yeah, it's amazing. He's out there on his boat.
2002 was when he coined that, and it's still 23 years later. It's still working.
It is great. Him and the Gary Templeton thing about the All-Star game. If I ain't starting, I ain't departing. That's one of my other favorite reference for shutting it down like that.
Great comment right here, Jordan S. What do you call them? Colorado Rock Eaters? No, the Colorado Paste Eaters.
Yes.
Rock Eaters is great.
Think of Ralph Wiggum when you're thinking about the Colorado Rockies. That's the inspiration for that there.
You missed it last week, but Paul noted that he only calls them the Paste Eaters now. It doesn't, not even the Rockies. So he said that that's the greatest thing you've given the fantasy community is the Paste Eater.
That's my legacy, and I'm proud of it.
It's your legacy. So let's get into FAAB a little bit. I thought hitter FAAB was an utter disaster this week, like almost impossible to find anybody. Is there anybody you did like? I found myself, adding a few guys here and there, but it's mostly to try and get some at bats. Maybe try and play some guys who are playing Coors this week. The Rockies are home for 6. They host the Miami Marlins and the LA Angels, so maybe getting some pieces there. But were you doing anything with hitter FAAB this week? Because I found it really, really tough to find guys I wanted to pick up.
Sal Stewart was out there in some leagues.
Yep.
Patrick Bailey was picked up in my main. If you're trying to replace Will Smith, you probably missed out on Patrick Bailey's best week.
I was going to say you probably missed Patrick Bailey's best week of his career. That him and Josh Bell had 26 RBI combined or something crazy like that.
It was the honorary Luis Matos week.
Good call.
For that we picked up Tyler O'Neill in a league. Whatever.
I like Tim Tawa in Arizona. Starting at first base, they had 2 guys get hurt, Locklear and someone else got hurt. I forget who else got hurt, but playing first base every day, a guy who hits the ball pretty well, went to Stanford, so I'm a little bit biased here, but he had 31 home runs last year in the minors, 14 stolen bases, hit 280. It hasn't been quite as good this year, but I think there's a little bit of pop in that guy. He's got 6 homers, 7 steals in 63 games, eligible at first, second, and outfield. He was someone that I was trying to add wherever I could. I know I'm in the right here because Greg Martin, who's in my main event league, who is leading, he's 2nd overall, picked him up, outbid me 2-1. So I must be onto something right here because if he's picking him up, I feel pretty good about that company.
Yeah, for sure. I absolutely could see it there. And again, the Rockies, they passed the Rockies passed the Reds. We'd have a news story. The Diamondbacks passed the Reds in the wild card race. They're actually, they keep subtracting players and keep on moving up. They're the Rangers of the NL.
That's not a good place to be. I was gonna say getting past with the Rockies is not a good place to be, but yeah, the Diamondbacks
being the Rangers is not. I was like,
no, Rangers and Diamondbacks both decent places to be. I think Arizona's gonna be. I like them as much as anybody right now in that race. You mentioned you think the Mets are gonna. I think the Mets probably do it too, but I don't know. I'd be a little wary of Arizona.
God, can you imagine their pitching staff in the playoffs?
Oh, so bad,
so gross.
My favorite stat of the day, I was looking at FAAB this week, and I was looking at Austin Martin, who's playing a bunch in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I wonder what he's done recently. Last 100 plate appearances, he has 1 RBI.
Oh, at least he's playing. Yeah, I can get some counting stat. Oh, counting stat, singular.
How is that? Can't you ground out softly for RBI? I think that seems impossible. I looked at it twice. I'm like, there's no way this is true. And I looked at his game log. He had an RBI on August 21st and then one on August 6th.
That's hard to do. That's really hard to do. But I'll say this. When's the last time
he's been in the majors?
Watched a Twins game?
Yeah,
unless you're Peter Schenke.
He's been in the majors for 38 games. He has 128 plate appearances on the season. He has 2 RBI this season.
That's impossible.
Also, he's hitting 299.
That's amazing.
How is that even? It seems. How do you not get I don't get it. I guess nobody's ever on base, but like, holy crap! That just seems. I saw that and I was like, I just cracked up because that was an unbelievably great stat.
Yeah.
He's hitting 397 with the bases empty and 128 with men on base.
Yep.
It's a crazy stat. Anybody else you like to hit her? I think if Tyler Soderstrom's hurt, this Carlos Cortes, kind of interesting. He had 3 homers over the weekend.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Forgot about rubbing that in. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Rockies plays. I think Nolan Schanuel is like 58% roster in the main event. They go to Coors next week, and he's gonna be back from the injured list this week. But then Troy Johnstone or Heriberto Hernandez, one of those Marlins guys might work. But you're just kind of looking for matchups at that point. It was tough to find offense this week.
Yep, and but that's the margin that leagues are won and lost, especially onlys, as you're trying to dig into the corners there a little bit. Just try to find some playing time.
Paul, I'm glad you enjoyed the Austin Martin thing because it got worse the more I looked at it. It was truly impossible. It was beautiful, but so let's see. I thought pitching was actually kind of interesting this week, though. There were some names that like can actually can help you down the stretch here. The first one that jumped out to me obviously was Connelly Early is in Boston. Looked really good pitching against the A's this week. Had 5 innings, 11 strikeouts. Looked really good. You look at his minor league numbers. 100 innings in the minors so far this year. 2.60, 1.18 on the ratios. 32% strikeout rate. And he's lined up for 2 starts this week. Like this kind of all lines up perfectly. Probably too perfectly. It's probably a bad sign. He's getting home against the A's. He gets them again this week. Then he's at Tampa Bay. Tough in that park there. But I thought the Connelly Early, if you need strikeouts, you need wins, you need some ratios, was a pretty good pickup for 2 weeks left in the year.
Yeah, not bad. And that's kind of a theme that we've seen, like a bunch of young starting pitchers get called up lately that have actually all been kind of useful. All those Mets pitchers, Red Sox pitchers. Kind of funny how that's worked out. Yeah,
it really has. I mean, I just thought that was a good one. That was the one that I prioritized the most. Greg Martin in our main event league outbid me on him too. So he hit smart bid. I had $7 left. He bid $7. I don't think that was by accident, by the way. It's a really smart bid when he had a little bit more money than me. So well done there on Greg. So I really like that one. He looked really good. I watched that game against the A's. He looked really sharp. Gets him again. So that's a pretty good one right there. Also in the minor league front, or coming up from the minor leagues, Brandon Sproat got called up. He was not eligible in NFBC last week because he came up and pitched on Sunday, so he's not in the player pool. But he's made 2 starts now. Looked pretty good in both of them. 6 innings, no earned runs in 1, and then the first start was 6 innings, 3 earned runs against the Reds. But no walks in his last start, only 3 Ks, but controlled the ball well. Obviously, the Mets are calling up all these young guys. They're all pitched well. I think Sproat's just the next line there.
It's funny. He kind of got leapfrogged a little bit.
He did.
He was the guy that was supposed to be up first, but then both McLean and Tong leapfrogged him a little bit there. But because Sproat hit a wall a little bit there at AAA last year, and then again the start of this year, and then he figured it out, and that's part of like the development. We were hoping the same thing would happen like Bubba Chandler. We'd happen, a couple other pitchers in the minors this year. Andrew Painter, we were hoping that would happen with there. Sproat actually did figure it out, and that's the thing is. It used to be pitchers needed like a full year at each level. And we try to accelerate that. We try to push through that a little bit there. And yet the gap between AAA and the majors is as big as it's ever been. And yet our patience for seeing that development isn't there. Quinn Matthews is another one that you kind of, he's really walked the entire world this year, but maybe he'll still be okay in the long run. It's tough holding on to guys like this, but sometimes they ultimately do get it.
It might have been that approximately 4,700 innings he threw in the College World Series and playoffs for Stanford a couple years ago. That might be the Quinn Matthews.
Yeah, that might have something to do with that too.
I can't believe how many guys he's walking this year, and kind of out of nowhere, he walked like 8.5% last year, and he's at 16.5% this year. That is a crazy jump.
Yeah, it is. It really makes me think. Even though the velocity is there, it makes you think something might be broken.
Yeah, I mean, 69%. You can't survive. You ain't surviving in the majors with that. You have a 1.52 whip in the minors. I mean, that's. Got a ways to go. I think a lot of people love Quinn Matthews coming in this year. Quinn Matthews coming in this year, but I think that's a pretty big step away when you're walking that many guys.
Yep, kind of. And I know he did miss some time too to arm issues there, so that might have something to do with it. I also do. You kind of like you look at teams and the Cardinals haven't had a whole lot of luck with homegrown pitchers lately. Like, what are they? It used to be the Cardinal way, right? And I haven't seen a whole lot of that lately from them.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look at their rotation now. I mean, Liberatore has made it through the year. 435, 133. He's had some good early outings. McGreevy is up now in the rotation too. Another guy that, kind of expected a full season out of him. We even drafted him in the main, and then he lost out, and he's pitched okay lately, but they're just not peaking at all there. And it's just weird to see the Cardinals be such a mid team like that.
Is Victor Scott their starting center fielder next year?
I don't know, dude. I haven't followed it closely enough because I did not roster Victor Scott anywhere. I wrote him off going into this year.
He's so good on defense, but the offense is it's so bad. I mean, he's hitting 219 after hitting $179 last year. He has 32 steals, but 5 homers. I mean, there's no hard contact. He strikes out too much. He's striking out 24%. That's terrible for a guy that's just strictly a non-power guy with speed. But I mean, he's got a minus 5.9 offensive WAR. Like, he's just such a bad offensive player, but the defense is really, really good in center field.
Strikes me as the type of guy who, when you run projections, he's going to be worth X amount of dollars. And, that should be the range of guys. Oh, hey, I need stolen bases.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a mistake to draft him because his job is always going to be at risk.
It's hard to get all those stolen bases too, because you're playing him all those times. If you have 37 RBIs in an outfield spot, if he steals 40 bags or not, it's just so hard to overcome. And you have to time it so you get all of them. And if you do get all of them, you get 427 at bats at 219. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I think I've hurt myself lately. Not literally. I've hurt myself in leagues lately by trying to catch up on the stolen bases. Being so self-conscious that I'm not valuing stolen bases properly that I take players that just can't hit. And Victor Scott just can't hit.
Yeah. It's funny. Paul and I talked about stolen bases last week and kind of looked at my main event roster. It's doing really well in steals without having a stolen base guy. And it's just it's 4 or 5 guys who have 20 to 25, and it just has worked out really well. I think that's if you can get it that way, it's just so nice to not worry about steals, but also not worry about throwing someone who can't hit in there too.
It's so nice when you get a backdoor stolen base guy, when you get Cal Raleigh running, or you get, better yet, Juan Soto.
Yeah.
You spend the first round pick knowing that I'm probably not going to have enough stolen bases, and he outruns everybody in the first round anyhow.
Yep.
I mean, that's such a beautiful thing.
The discussion next year will 1,000,000% here be about Chandler Simpson too, because he's got 40 steals already. But the thing with him is he's not a batting average hole is the problem. He's hitting 293. So if he can do batting average runs and steals, he becomes really interesting. But we talk about zero power. He's got less power than Victor Scott does. He's got 17% hard hit rate. Doesn't have a barrel yet this year. No homers in 394 plate appearances. He's dead zero power, but if you can get batting average and runs out of him, it can kind of work a little better than some of these other guys. But,
I'm already got 40. He's played 98 games. He's got you 46 runs. If you extrapolate that, say he plays 150. Yeah. So, okay, he's at 75 runs. Okay, that's probably acceptable. But you're also he's got 23 RBI. 23.
It is 2 dead holes in your lineup at RBIs and home runs.
Yep. And, the Rays loved him so much they sent him down once this year.
Yep. It's a fair point too. They are the Rays, but he's got to hit 290 for it to work. I think is probably what it comes down to.
He's gotten caught 11 times too. By the way, since we're talking about this genre of player, hat tip to Xavier Edwards for getting his 3rd homer of the year. Moonshot, 355 feet, I think. Good on him for that. But he's actually he's had some decent moments lately. He's a little banged up right now.
Promise he only has 24 steals.
Exactly. And that's the thing is you spend a price on him where you're at minimum need 40 stolen bases.
Yep. Agreed there. But jumping back to pitcher FAAB as we kind of went sideways there. my fault. I was talking about Victor Scott and the Cardinals. But any other pitchers you liked? I thought Mackenzie Gore was interesting coming off the IL. Some of the a lot of strikeouts. He's about 56% rostered. And then you've got some risky 2-start guys. Woods Richardson in Minnesota, Sean Burke with the White Sox, Mitchell Parker, who we talked about last week, is supposed to get 2 starts. I decided I was going to pass on it. He pitched pretty well the first start, didn't get the second one. So he has 2 starts. Did you like any of those guys strictly if you need wins, if you need Ks? Is there any of those guys any 2-start guys you really were focusing on this week?
I mean, you're really just chasing anybody that has 2 starts right now. Hell, we picked up Randy Vasquez for pitching against the White Sox, even though they're not as terrible as they used to be. But Your favorite patron saint of the K- walk percentage himself there. But I mean, it's just, I think it's any port in a storm right now. And I think if you're either you're preserving ratios, you're maximizing Ks and wins. So you try to get those 2 start guys the best you can.
Yeah. Or you're throwing, 7 closers because you need saves and that sort of thing. But there wasn't much else I liked. It was pretty much for me. It was just try get early or Sproat or Mackenzie Gore. I had higher bids on those 3 and then kind of just a waterfall of $1 and $2 guys after that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Some of the chat mentioned Kyle Bradish. Yeah, if you have Kyle Bradish, for sure. If he's available in your league, I'd grab him right now. Has looked good since coming off the IL, and he gets to 2 starts a week. I mean, I didn't mention him because he is very, very highly rostered in all the games we play. But
a couple of weeks ago when we had the bidding work on him.
We did talk a lot of Bradish. But you're in a 10 team or something like that. He's available. Someone I would, if you look at like the Razzball, the stream rankings they have, he's a top 10 pitcher this week, coming in this week with 2 starts. So
yeah.
Before we jump out of here, relievers was a really tough week for me here, Jeff. I picked up Brad Keller instead of Andrew Kittredge last week. I liked Keller a little bit more, taking over from Daniel Palencia. Kittredge had 3 saves this week, and I don't even know what to do with myself after that week.
Cry. I mean, yeah, it's
not only 1 save, he had 3 saves this week. Like that would have been a huge week.
And I think I picked up and dropped Andrew Kittredge.
You did. I remember that. Yeah.
Yep. So,
and they just kind of left. Keller's been really good. They just kind of left him in his role is what they did. And teams sometimes do that where, Keller's pitching great in the 7th and 8th. Let's just leave him there and just kind of elevate someone else. And that's kind of what they did. And Keller's been awesome. His whip's under 1 this year. Pitched well this week too. I think he had a couple of holds, but Kittredge getting 3 saves was really just a final dagger in this season, which has been a frustrating one.
I like that the Cubs have gone full circle back to just total unknown who's going to close. After we had a good solid couple of months with 1 closer, we're back to trying to guess who their closer is again.
Yeah, and they got good pitchers back there. It's just a matter of trying to guess. And I fully guessed wrong. And we talked about the show last week, and we're really close on Keller Kittredge. I think Paul liked Kittredge a little more. I like Keller a little bit more. Mike Masato, who's in my league, got mad at me because I outbid him for Brad Keller, and he had Palencia, so we had that. But no saves was brutal at Kittredge. They had so many ops too. They had 3 ops. Nailed the right team, just got the wrong pitcher. But Kittredge this week, if he was available, I think you got to go in on that if you need saves, right?
Sure.
He's clear they've used him 3 in a row in that situation, and he was the top guy. I thought if you needed some saves, Riley O'Brien. We mentioned the Cardinals earlier. He got a save today. He's been pretty good. Velocity's been a little bit down. There's some thoughts maybe he was hurt. He got the save today, but there's a lot of these teams left that it's like 8 teams right now. They're just like A, they can't win games, and B, who the hell knows who closes when they're gonna win. Yeah,
exactly. And it could change for half of these teams. The Cubs probably are more likely because, I guess, they don't even have that much to play for anymore. There's no way to catch the Brewers, right? I'm just pulling up the standings here.
They're 5.5 back. Is that right?
5.5. Do they have head-to-head against them coming up at all? No, I don't think so.
The Cubs get Pittsburgh, Cincy, the Mets, and the Cardinals.
It's not a bad schedule.
Yeah.
But they're pretty secure in where they're gonna, they're in the playoffs.
Yep.
They're comfortably in the playoffs.
And they're comfortably even comfortably the number 1 wild card. They're 3.5 up on San Diego too.
Holy hell! Those 2 teams ran away from the muck. The rest of the National League.
Well, when the team in 3rd that was far ahead loses 8 games in a row, that'll tend to happen.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy that Seattle's only 3 games behind the Tigers.
Yeah. Well, it just shows how the Tigers have really been on the struggle bus.
Yeah, they just haven't had anything to play for so long. But it's just they looked like it was going to be the AL East, and the Tigers has 1-2 or 2-1 kind of the whole way through. And Seattle and Houston are kind of right there. It's the other interesting thing with the wild cards is that you look at the AL, and Texas is 8 games over 500, and they're the 4th team, just 2 out of the wild card. In the NL, the Giants are 1 game over 500, and they're right there too. It's just that 3rd NL wildcard spot is really just bad.
It's really rough.
Yeah, it's bad.
I saw a tweet the other day just showing like the 5 teams competing for that last wildcard spot are all like terrible since the All-Star break.
Yeah,
the Giants are a little less terrible, but
they had a horrible stretch right after the break too.
Yeah, they did.
Were really bad for a
while.
Right
before the break and right after it. You're right.
They just could not win a game, but
that's why they sold.
Been good lately. Yeah, that's why they sold. Yeah, it's last thing, Jeff. A's not in last place anymore.
Huzzah!
How bad you got to be the Angels? The Angels are a mess.
Yeah, but at least they traded for two guys that were available on the waiver wire earlier as relief pitchers, Luis Garcia and someone else. Doesn't matter.
You missed the over under we had last week on people picking up the wrong Luis Garcia, and the over under was 4.5 in the main event. It was 3, so it went a little bit under. But there were 3 Luis Garcia Angels picked up last week.
Turns out that might have been the right one.
Might have been the right one because Luis Garcia got hurt right away. But it's the Angels are 60 runs in run differential worse than the A's are, which is pretty. The Angels are just they're a mess. They're bad. It's just
must be so plan.
It must be so hard to watch Ohtani play across the city for someone. I guess it's got to be so demoralizing as an Angels fan to watch him just be awesome for the Dodgers.
It's just, what is their plan?
Yeah.
What are they? What
the
Angels?
I have no idea what their plan is. I mean, they've you wasted like Trout's on the back end of his career. I have no idea what their plan is.
They wasted Trout. They wasted a lot of Ohtani. They're wasting Neto now.
Hold on. They're wasting Neto and Joe Adell, Jeff.
Yes. Sorry.
35 home run Joe Adell. Thanks.
Yes. 36, isn't it now?
Is it 36? I forgot. He had one this weekend after the vertigo. The vertigo was not. That didn't sound great, but yeah, 30.
He was 30, just looking at their fall in the standings. I could see it.
36.95. That's funny. 36.95 is it? But yeah, the answer to your question, the answer, I have no idea what their plan is. Their pitching is horrendous. I mean, they're throwing Kyle Hendricks out there. Like, what are we doing?
And he's their number 3. Can you name who else? They have a 6-man rotation right now. Can you name 4 through 6?
So Soriano, Kikuchi, Hendricks.
Yep.
That's 1-3. Caden Dana, I know because he has 2 starts this week, so I looked at him. Right. I can't. I'm out after 4.
Save Mitch Ferris and Jose Urena.
Jose Urena's pitched for everybody, and he's always bad with everybody. He's really so starting for them. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, the Angels.
That's bad. Are you fired up? We get Jim Harbaugh against Pete Carroll tomorrow night.
Yeah, we get 2 Monday night games tomorrow night.
Those guys hate each other. I love it. It's so great.
Yeah.
Ever since Harbaugh went for 2 to get to 50 and the Coliseum against SC, it's been on since then.
Yes. Yeah.
I was at that game, and I was pretty sure I was going to get killed by somebody because the SC fans were so mad when they lined up for 2. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So bad. But anybody else you want to talk about, Jeff? Anything else that's on your mind here?
No, I can't believe it's been over an hour. It just flew again.
It really did fly. We were like, oh, this is good. We got to figure out a way to talk some baseball with all the football going on. But it always works well. It's always fun talking baseball with you, no matter what's going on, no matter what our teams are in the standings either.
Yeah, and we're going to get to do that on Tuesday night going to the Dodger game too. So I'm excited.
That's right. I'm looking forward to that. Playing the Phillies. That should be a fun one. Who's pitching in that game?
Let's see. I'll pull
if only we had a website that gave us probable starters really well, Jeff.
Yeah, if only. I'm pulling that said website up. Ohtani versus Sanchez. Oh,
that is awesome. Last time you and I went to a game in these seats, we missed the first 3 innings because we were watching the Pacers playoff game, and we got in trouble for that. It was pretty funny.
It was 1 inning, but yeah.
Was it only 1? I thought it was long. In my mind, it was longer than that.
Yeah, but we did miss an Ohtani homer live and in person. That was
he does it every game, so it's fine. You'll see another one.
Yeah.
But yeah. I know. Looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Ohtani Sanchez. That's great.
Yes. Should be amazing.
That's a fun series. You got Snell Luzardo on Wednesday and Suarez Sheehan tomorrow. That's gonna be a fun series.
Yeah.
And the Giants and Dodgers play 4 in Dodger Stadium over the weekend too. That's
and don't look now, but the Dodgers starting pitching is coming together.
Just in time, right? It's just crazy. You go Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow all look really good right now. And obviously Ohtani, forever innings he can go. Suddenly you got 4. Suddenly Kershaw's your 5th. I don't know. It's coming together just at the right time.
Does not apply to the bullpen, but
it does not apply. Tanner, I know some Dodgers fans, and they do not like Tanner Scott.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness.
And what's it 11 homers this year? I mean, he's not good at baseball this year, unfortunately. I liked him going into this year.
I did too. And the crazy thing is, they got 3 years and $54 million left with him.
Yeah, whatever. It's a write-off.
It is, but that was a big. They signed him to. It was a significant contract.
Yeah, it is 11 homers allowed. But the problem is, Vesey has been better, but they like him as a tactical play.
I don't trust Blake Trinan. Every time I watch him, he does not look like the same guy to me at all. Maybe he'll find it and figure it out, but I don't love that one either.
Kirby Yates, do you know what his ratios are?
Not good. I know that.
530, 133. What's going on here? Trying a 162 whip. Holy shnikes.
Yeah, every time he goes out there, I'm a little sketchy watching him. Maybe get some Michael Kopech going.
Kopech has got bonkers ratios, but he's only thrown 9 2/3. But
bonker. His whip's 1.5 though, because his walk rate's 23% right now.
Yeah, exactly. 11 Ks, 10 walks going into today. Oh my!
Is Justin Robleski their best reliever right now?
My column. No, it's Vesia.
Is it? Yeah, it probably is Vesia, but Robleski's been pretty good, pretty big for them lately. We were
still,
talking about this last week. Enriquez might be a sneaky kind of K-Rod kind of young guy in the playoffs arm for them too.
I thought Kasperius was going to be good. He got sent down.
By the way, you're right on Vesia. Vesia has a whip of .96, 34% strikeout rate. He's been really, really good. He's easily their best reliever.
Yeah, he's just their tactical thing, and he got hurt once. He just came back, so they don't know if he's going to be okay. Stewart, they trade for, he gets hurt. Every Dodger reliever gets hurt at one point in time. It's a rite of passage.
Yeah, that's going to be see what they do in the 7th, 8th, and 9th is going to be pretty fascinating.
Well, and you got to figure there's two wild cards here at work. One, Emmett Sheehan.
That's a good point. He could be he's sixth, seventh guy for them in the playoffs, right? He could throw multiple innings. You're right. That's a good weapon.
And he may piggyback him off of Ohtani. Maybe we'll see what happens there. And then the other wild card is Sasaki. They bring him up as a reliever. Yeah.
Do you think Clayton Kershaw gets playoff starts?
Dodger fans would go apeshit if he had a bad start in the playoffs. I feel so. That's the thing. You talk to certain Dodger fans, and they dislike Kershaw.
I know, just because of the playoff performances. I think
them
winning a couple times has helped, but yeah, you still every time you pitch in the playoffs, you get that every time. Do you think he's probably there? I'm assuming Ohtani starts games, so he's probably their 5th, right? So he probably doesn't start a playoff game.
Probably not.
You bring him in out of the pen to get outs? I don't know. That's tough too.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing. I think the first series he might not even be active. Second series he probably gets a start, because they probably do a combo platter for Ohtani and Ohtani and piggybacks Sheehan off of him. But Yamamoto, Glasnow, Snell are starters, and then after that they can play with it.
And Ohtani's gone up to 5 innings too. So, he's ramped it up a little bit. I think in a playoff game, he's probably going to pitch 5, and then you can piece together with Sheehan for a couple, and then you get to the back end of the bullpen. Who knows? But
yeah,
it's going to be fun. I love the baseball playoffs. I know the regular season's fun with fantasy, but the baseball playoffs are such a blast.
Yeah, they are. Can't wait.
We want to thank everybody for listening. There was a ton of chats in the chat room. We really appreciate that. Always fun to have everybody kind of following along and asking questions and chatting amongst themselves as well. I want to thank Chalkboard for the sponsorship of the podcast. We really appreciate that as well. Hope everybody has a really good week, a good fantasy week. We'll back at you for one final show next weekend. Next night's the last show for this edition of the podcast. We look forward to that. I hope everybody has a good week and a good fantasy week, and take care.